I'm gonna go to the bathroom, grab a water, and then get started.
Cool.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tagout Podcast. My name is AJ East Coast, and I am your host, and I've got a very, very special guest tonight, Cameron MacLeod Stewart. How you doing, man?
I'm doing amazing, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Just been, working every night now for the last, 3 days in a row, but it's been fun, man. We had the Elimination Chamber last night. I know you watched along with us. Dude, Mike the fucking Miz is WWE champion.
All I gotta say is, man, it's awesome, man. I'm feeling like I'm 10 years old again, bro.
Dude, I could not believe it, because, a part of me was like, you know what, they might do something, with the chamber, they might fuck with it, they might put the Fiend in there, they might, end it with some bullshit. I didn't really think they were going to have Drew McIntyre be cashed in on by The Miz.
Me neither, man, but, I don't know, when the match got over with, I was with the time left just going throughout the match, I just I had a feeling.
Yeah.
I had a feeling. I was like, the Miz is gonna cash in, and then Lashley came out, and as soon as Lashley came out, I knew it was over with, bro.
Yeah, because they were doing that kind of similar setup they did with Carmella and Charlotte when Carmella cashed in. Someone came in, beat him up, and then walked out. But I like the look that Lashley gave him on the way out. They might do something, the three of them. This is weird. It's cool. But, The Miz is champion in 2021. I'm excited.
Yeah. Right here.
Yeah, man. It's a weird year. Are you have any plans to go and attend WrestleMania?
You know what? I was thinking about it, but, I feel like these ticket prices are going to be, way too high. I heard they're going to be up in, $3,000 range or something like that.
They could be, bro. They could be all the way up there. It depends. Even I heard some of the the shitty seats, what you would consider, the nosebleeds, could even go for $1,000.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they're going for that much, I'll be watching from someplace in Florida, but not there.
Yeah, not there. No.
Yeah.
Well, so man, tell us where you are from. Tell us all about that.
All right. So, originally I'm from Georgetown, Massachusetts.
Hell yeah.
I was born in Salem, Massachusetts, which is a lot more popular than Georgetown. Georgetown is, I always tell people, it's 2 towns over away from West Newbury.
Where old Cena's at, huh?
Cena's at, yes.
Well, that's awesome, dude. Coming from Massachusetts, fellow New Englander, just like me. I spent half my life in the West Coast, half my life in New England, bro. There's just nowhere better on the planet, in my opinion. The southern New England is just, it's something different, man. The people, the food, the way of life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The food's great up there, man.
Yeah, dude. The food's so good. The Salem, dude. Tell us a little bit about living there.
So I didn't live in Salem. I was born there. My parents did live there before they had. I have a twin sister, actually.
Wow.
So
okay.
before they, me and my twin sister, they moved to Georgetown, literally right before we were born. But I always said they should have kept their house there, because then they could have rented it out an Airbnb or something like that. A little side income. But but it's all good. I eventually ended up going to middle school and high school in Beverly, Massachusetts, which is right next to Salem. I was still around that area, but I never lived there. Georgetown is kind of, I guess it's kind of like the woods, sort of, kind of, but not really. It's a very, very small town. So
I love that New England's just filled with those little towns, bro, and they keep true to, the 1600s. I have to explain to people all the fucking time, living in New England is different. You live differently. We don't have central heating, and if you don't have some kind of warm device in your house, you will die. Or the fact that we have to pour that shit down our drains to make sure the fucking pipes the water doesn't freeze shut. All that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking over there in California, they're worried about stepping in gum on the sidewalk.
I'm worried about that. Earthquakes, I would assume, maybe.
Yeah, earthquakes. That's true. Yeah. But so you are billed, though, however, differently. You're not billed from Massachusetts, correct?
Yes. So I'm billed from Prince Edward Island in Canada, and that is the province above Nova Scotia. If you look on the map. And the reason why I'm billed there is because my ancestors came over from Scotland to Prince Edward Island, and my grandmother was the first generation in this country.
Wow.
And in 1955, I think it was. Well, first off, she always went like up there as a kid and stuff to visit her like family members and things like that up there. Her initials as well are also CMS, Charlotte Moore Stewart. But in 1955, my grandparents bought a old one-room schoolhouse up there, and it's been transformed. It has like upstairs now. Has like, it doesn't have heating, but
it's such a New England thing. Oh yeah, we bought an old schoolhouse.
But it's perfect for a summer cottage. So ever since my dad was a kid, he went up there, and every year of my life except for 2020, I've been going up there every single summer. So I still have family up there and stuff, and it just means a lot to me, and it holds a very special place in my heart. So yeah, that's why I'm billed from Prince Edward Island.
Yeah, man.
Canada.
Well, it's good, man. That pride is, the pride for both you can see. As I was witnessing you wrestle in the ring, you can see the New England, the Boston pride, everything out of you. But you can see, that you take your heritage and you take, what's come before you very seriously. Even in your Instagram profile, you got your, the Canadian flag up. I saw you got the Canadian colors on your ring gear. That's awesome, man. And that's awesome to see that you take a part of that heritage off is in this light, because a lot of the times, guys, obviously you'll see a lot of, Latino wrestlers, you'll see the Mexican flag, the Dominican flag, stuff like that, or you'll see, Asian wrestlers, they'll use the Japanese flag, stuff like that, so it's really cool to see someone, portraying the Canadian heritage as strong as you are, which, we haven't really seen since like the early 2000s, if you think about it. Like all the guys back then, like Jericho, and is, even though he did what he did, you have to mention Benoit and everybody, and the whole Canada crew.
Yeah. Which we could scratch Benoit out of there, I guess.
Just fucking.
But yeah, I think it's very important to. I feel like I meet a lot of people and they don't really know their like family history and stuff like that, and like I was just brought up with like knowing all these things about it. So yeah, I'm very like prideful in
it's really important
sharing it and just repping it, and yeah.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, dude. And so you're pretty young looking guy. How old are you, dude?
I'm 20.
20 years old. That's what I read. I just wanted to confirm it because I didn't want to say anything crazy, but 20 years old, guys. This, I think, is our youngest professional wrestler that we've had on here. That is amazing, man. Starting right out at 20 years old. And for those of y'all don't know, Cameron has been on AEW Dark. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But you're already, the fire's already there, my man, at 20 years old, man. At 6 years ago, I would like to say that I was doing normal shit, but I wasn't because I was in the military and shit. But other 20-year-olds, obviously are not as focused as you are. They're out there, doing crazy shit, getting drunk all fucking every night and thrown up in the fucking alley and everything like that.
Yeah, man.
So
yeah, I think like a lot of people my age, like I meet a lot of people and they don't know exactly what they want to do with their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all I've wanted to do since I was 10 years old. So,
have you always grown up watching wrestling?
Yeah. I got into wrestling when I was 10 years old. My parents were always like very strict on like violent stuff, if that makes sense.
No, I understand.
My dad's a family and child therapist, so I don't know if that like went into play with anything, but he's like overprotective sometimes for like me and my sister.
Did he ever talk to you like one of his clients, like if you got in trouble or something, like sit down, so tell me how you're feeling, son? Like
No, he didn't.
No.
But that would be sick if he did. That'd be absolutely insane. But, but yeah, he said he doesn't use his like skills with his family and stuff like that, which I respect that. But yeah, like when I first started watching wrestling, I started watching at my friend's house, and then like when I came home, we would have like a lock on the TV. So as soon as I figured out like the TV code to like unlock the TV, I'd watch wrestling, and then whenever my parents came in the room, I would like just switch it real quick to like some like dumb kid show or something like that.
Yeah, like Nickelodeon.
Chill up. I'm wondering, I'm like, leave. I want to see Edge right now or something like that. So
they're probably thinking you're watching Skinamax. Instead, you're watching SmackDown.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny, man. You had to sneak SmackDown.
Yeah, dude, man.
I know what that's like because when I was a kid, I think for a little bit my mom like banned wrestling from from the house, like, yeah, and we weren't like allowed to watch it because I think we were just. What happened was like my little brother would start like doing moves and shit with his friends, and they broke the bed. Yeah. They like sunk the bed in and shit. Oh, no. So like, yeah. And they're just all this bullshit like fucking in the house. And if obviously you don't remember, you weren't buying pay-per-views back then, but when I was a kid, around like the early 2000s, pay-per-views were like fucking $40 to $60 a piece, and my mom at one point was like, "Yeah, fuck this. We're not doing this bullshit anymore. I'm not paying for this." Like,
yeah, man.
Yeah. And
no, I feel that like when I got into wrestling too, like it was still like it was like $50-$60 for one pay-per-view. So I'd really only get like the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and like maybe one other per year. If
maybe Survivor Series. That was the same way, dude.
Yeah, man.
It's nice now that they have the network. The kids don't know how good they got it.
Yeah, man. They don't know how easy it is. $9 a month, like.
And now fucking $5, bro. They're gonna switch to $5 over on Peacock, and you get all of the other Peacock crap. I know that sounds like a Peacock plug, but no. But I think it's just now we have to. The only shitty part is you have to switch services, and God knows what the library is gonna look like. But hopefully, it's pretty organized.
Yeah, I'm curious to what it's gonna look like and stuff like that. But
I just don't think I have any other use for Peacock. I don't. There's probably like old reruns of like fucking MASH and that '70s show on there, maybe.
Yeah, maybe something like that, something entertaining. I really only watch wrestling now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I don't watch like Netflix and stuff like that. Like
watch more wrestling.
I'm fucking clueless, bro.
It's like you're like studying tapes almost when you're doing that.
Yeah, like whenever I watch wrestling now, I guess it's a little bit different from when I like first started watching it because I'm literally watching like everything they're doing, like the story they're telling, what part of the match we're in, and things like that, just so I could use it and compare it to myself, kind of sort of to get better. I mean, I guess I've always kind of did that in a way because like selling and stuff like that to me. Like I would like Dolph Ziggler, for example. Like I hated him as a kid for some reason, but like I love watching him get beat up, and like the reason why is like he's phenomenal at selling.
He sells the part.
Yeah, so yeah.
It's a huge part of selling of wrestling, and I think a lot of people tend to think that that's like the the childish bullshit, but no, it's real acting because you have to figure out a way to sell to fake an injury, but to make it look good enough where it's not fake. How do you do that, bro?
Man, I don't even know. Like as a kid before I got into wrestling, for some reason, like my sister used to have like cheerleading meets and stuff like that, and I don't know why I would just like pretend to walk into stuff in public and like people out. Like before I even knew wrestling was a thing, like that's what I did.
Just pretending to hurt yourself in public.
Yeah, pretending to hurt myself when I'm actually like fine on the inside, but like just pretending to hurt myself in public. It sounds fucking crazy and weird, but
that is hysterical.
That's what I used to do, and then I found wrestling, and then like I don't know, like I would just imitate stuff I saw on TV, if that makes sense.
Still pretending to hurt yourself in public now. It's kind of the same.
And here we are now. Like that's what we're still doing. So
that's funny, man. Who were some of your biggest influences when you were that young watching TV?
When I first got into like wrestling and stuff, it would probably be Edge, Rey Mysterio, and I was never a John Cena guy. All my friends were John Cena guys.
Yeah,
I was never
either.
Even though he was from like Massachusetts, like all my other friends, I think that's why I wasn't, because he was like the popular guy, and I always tried to like, I don't know, shy away from that. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'll go Jeff Hardy for like the third one, because when I just found and like discovered wrestling, I didn't want to just watch like WWE. I would like find like the Lucha Libre stuff on like the Mexican channel,
Mm-hmm.
and then I found Impact Wrestling.
Lucha Underground back then, right? I think.
What was that?
It was called Lucha Underground back then. Did you ever see that one?
I did see that, but that was like a little bit later on. If we're talking about the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing I started watching was like AAA or something like that. It might have been AAA or something. It was like some Spanish show or whatever. They would have these like girls with signs and stuff.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Walk down these stairs and like there'd be like a ramp like to the ring and chaos. But I love it.
Loved every minute of it, man. And it's interesting because how often do you look back on these memories or look back on that time and apply it to your everyday life now as a wrestler?
I mean, like, I'll go back and I'll like watch like SmackDown and stuff from when I was that age and like look at it differently. But like, it just kind of like makes me fall in love with wrestling again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, if I watch older stuff from when I first started getting into it, like, then I just kind of like lose like the study and stuff, and then I just fall in love with it, if that makes sense. So
well, the passion is there, man. Well, so how we met Cameron here, we were invited to go watch Valentine's Crush Pro Wrestling 2.0. That was really cool. It was an awesome indie show. Really well put on, and the arena is really cool, or I guess the room, the space you could call it, the venue, really cool. Right next to a bowling alley. And when I read on the paper, I will be honest with you, because I'm not a Florida local, I'm not from around here, but I read on the paper it said at the bowling alley, and I was like, okay, this might be a little rough. This might be a little redneck. So I really didn't know what I was expecting a little bit, So we go into it, and I walked in. I was like, "Wow, this is really nice, really clean. It looked awesome, and how the view was amazing too, and everything was really safe. People wearing masks, everything like that in the crowd, so that was good too. But we were invited there by some other people to watch them wrestle, and they did a wonderful job as well. Took really good photographs, and we just started. You guys were the first match out. You were with Johnny Lyons, and who were the other members of your team?
On the spot here.
I don't remember their names either, but there were a lot of them basically. Fucking 8-man tag match. Yeah. And you were telling me kind of before stream that sometimes that kind of just happens. Matches get thrown together. Does that happen a lot in the indie circuit?
Honestly, like my honest opinion, it depends upon like where you're working, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like like say like I wrestle for like Grind Time Wrestling, and that's in Sarasota. Like I'll know like everything that happens like a few weeks beforehand, but with their shows, until you're like higher up on the card at 2.0, you don't really know what you're doing until like you get there and stuff. And then that's when you just figure it out. And then I mean, we still have like plenty of time and stuff before the show starts. But yeah, you just basically find out when you arrive there, pretty much. So
you just got to put it together, man.
Yeah, man.
I can't imagine, but I mean that's quick. That's quick writing, really fast. But the match played out really well. So we were there, and the first thing I noticed was you were really into the entrance music, really into it, and you had the red sweater. Obviously, the red sweater means something to you. Do you explain the red sweater a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, my dad actually got me that for Christmas, and it's not my like logo or anything like that. But I do want to get something customized around it. But he basically just got the MacLeod clan, pretty much. It's like the motto is "Hold Fast." So, and the logo for it, like the MacLeod clan, is a bowl. So, he got me like the sweater and stuff like that, and I just said like, I guess this would be like perfect for wrestling, because like I'm using like, my full name, Cameron MacLeod Stewart, and I want to just represent like my family and stuff and where I came from. So I just started wearing it on shows and stuff like that, and I like it. And whenever I come out to someone else's entrance music, I try to vibe off of it.
Yeah, man. Well, you were vibing, man. It looked good. So I remember you caught my attention right away. I was like, all right, we're gonna take a look at this kid. We're gonna pay attention. So we start wrestling a little bit. And it was like you said, it was chaos match all over the place. I was just like looking left, looking right. I was like, I don't know what's going on. But I turned to my girl. I was like, hey, just go. Can you focus in on him? Because she was taking film, and I was like, focusing on him. I was like, pay attention to that kid. I'm gonna go back and watch this later. But I tried to, and I was watching you, man, and you went off the top rope. That like sitting drop kick you did looked fucking really good. I was like, damn, who the fuck is this kid? You got that star power, man, and that's something that really special to be able to pull out. Take the attraction from 7 other guys that are in one ring and just pull the attraction to you. Because I was watching the rest of the crowd. Every time you were doing something, other people were paying attention. No one was really looking around. They were watching you. You were the main draw, even if that wasn't the intention.
Thank you, man.
Man.
I mean, that's what I try to do for like any room I step into when I'm wrestling. If that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
But I'd really just I love just professional wrestling done correctly,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my main thing. That's why I came down here to Florida to train with Sean Spears and Tyler Breeze, was to just learn the correct way to do things, like the people I watch on TV. So anytime I'm in a ring, I don't know, I try to make it as best as possible, and any spot I'm in, I try to just knock it out the park and do the best I can. So
well, it's good that you're not like one of those other guys that are down in the dumps that you didn't get the good match, or you didn't get the highlight or whatever, or you had to take the pinfall or whatever. Because you can see it, even if it's not meant to. You can see it when in the indie circuit when guys walk out. It's on your face. You can see when they're upset, and it's good to see that you're rolling with the punches, quite literally.
Yeah, I always say I'm a pretty selfless person, if that makes sense. So I do things for whatever position I'm in. I just try to do it to the best of my ability, and I try to just know my role in the show, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Being a part of it, yeah. So you mentioned moving down here to Florida to train at the school with Prince Pretty, Tyler Breeze, and Sean Spears, formerly known as Ty Dillinger. How long have you been at that school, man? 10, dude. Perfect 10s. I love it. I'm glad you brought that up, because in my wrestling streams that I do on here on the PlayStation, I keep him alive for that reason. It's just too good, dude.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. I was watching him and Bobby Roode at TakeOver actually the other day.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, it was crazy the reaction he would get. Everyone in the crowd is just
his entrance in the Amway Center when he first debuted. That was the best, dude. That was so good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so how long have you been at the school?
Yeah, so Flatbacks does 8-week courses, and I started down here in August for that course, and that ended in October. But during my time there, I whenever I'm in a wrestling ring or training, especially with just anybody, I give it my all. And I try to push myself to my limits. So while I was there at the school, I got opportunities with AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I should say it, but just some extra stuff with WWE, but that didn't happen. It got cut because of COVID restrictions and stuff like that. I mean, I was already kind of thinking about moving down here when I came down here from Massachusetts. I was originally staying at an extended stay hotel.
Hell yeah!
First got there. Yeah, I was living the life in there for a couple months, and then in October I got this place here, and I just decided to move down here because everything was shut down in Massachusetts, and I just wanted something new. And I go back to Flatbacks frequently to train there with their next classes and stuff like that. And it was just the best decision for me and my like career. So
yeah, man. And you're learning from two of one of the the best technical wrestlers, good showmen in different ways, and some athletically gifted, both of them in their own right in so many different ways, and that's awesome because you can just absorb that. You can pick that up. That's almost like someone that doesn't speak English going to a second language class and say your instructor has an accent, you pick up that accent. It's the same thing here. You can pick up these drop kicks. You can pick up the egotisticalness of Breezango a little bit. You can pick it all up.
Yeah, man.
So
I would say I'm like a sponge, just like soaking everything in when I'm like around people like that, because yeah, man, they're awesome. They're the smartest people I know by far. Like,
so you mentioned you mentioned professional wrestling, getting it done the correct way, and them teaching you the different things the correct way. What kind of things at the school, were they doing differently than things that you've seen other indie stars learn from their respective schools?
I mean, not to dive like too deep into it, but I feel like just like on independent wrestling, like people are too focused on like the moves and like stuff like that, and like wrestling isn't about like the moves you do, it's about the story you tell in the ring. So I just really like mess with like their opinions and stuff like that. Like it speaks to me in like a way that I just understand and like if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just like small little things that like you wouldn't think, and like just from them being on like TV every week and like consistently making they're literally like they're making a living off of wrestling. So learning from two people that are doing that, that's where like I want to be one day.
Right.
It's different from like, and no disrespect to I guess indie wrestlers, but it's different from learning from someone just on the independents. Their opinions and their way of wrestling is different because they know how to do everything correctly and they know what the top companies are looking for. So yeah.
Well, that's a very unique and different experience, and obviously it's paying off. It's working. It shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to do work with AEW. AEW Dark. If y'all go over to YouTube, if you search his name, AEW, it comes up. That's awesome, dude. That's a knock in the fucking a home run right there, bro. To be able to walk into Jacksonville like that and be on Dark, and now you're immortalized on Dark forever. And you wrestled two very iconic guys, the Butcher and the Blade, and you came out with Puff, who. So when I was doing my research about you, man, I had never seen Puff in my life. I don't know how in my entire time of covering wrestling how he's never come across my radar, but watching that entrance was the greatest entertaining thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, man.
The dance moves, man, they were so good. A man that large dancing like that is fucking hysterical.
Bro, he moves like Michael Jackson. Man.
He does, dude.
I don't know how else to put it.
What was it like when you met him, man? What's he like in backstage and stuff?
He's pretty chill, first of all.
Yeah.
When I first met him and stuff, I didn't know we were gonna be working together. So we didn't really talk too much until we found out that we were working together. And yeah, he's just funny, man, and he's just like enjoying life and enjoying what he's doing. So
he's, for those of y'all who don't know, he's over 400 pounds, I think, three something.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was over 400 pounds.
Yeah.
But
he's a big fella.
Yeah, big fella.
Yeah, so that must have been so much fun, man. So what were your thoughts when they said, hey, you're going to go tag team with Puff?
Well, how I found out was they have a board where they put everything up, and I didn't see my name on there, and Spears actually pointed out to me, and then I saw that I was teaming with Puff, and at first I wasn't. No offense to him, I wasn't sure who Puff was.
Yeah.
I thought I knew, but I wasn't sure because that's not how he introduced himself. Yeah, I don't know. I found out we were working together and stuff, and the Butcher and the Blade actually trained Puff, so that made things even more I don't know, come together like full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you get the entrance, he's out there, the music, and you're having a good time. You're vibing just like you always do. Just having
I think I'm the king of vibing off of other people's music. No matter who it is, I'm gonna be dancing to it. All right.
And this was cool, man, to see you in this light as a different change of character too, and you know, but still have that aggression and the little offense that they did let you have. But but yeah, so you for the if you guys go back and watch it, yes, you did take primarily of all of the slams and hits and kicks and punches. I believe you split something open on your face too, right?
I didn't split anything open on my face.
Okay.
Watching it did look like I was bleeding.
Yeah.
But I think that nose was just red from getting like hit a little bit.
Constantly.
Hit or so.
It was.
That's what that was. But
man, it was like an 8-minute just beat up Cameron fest.
Yes.
Damn, dude. And you took these slams hard. How do you prepare your body for these kind of things, man? Did you know that was obviously, you know, you're in this kind of role in the show to make them, you know, put them over. If you guys aren't familiar with that, it's, you know, called the jobber, or taking the pinfall to make someone else look better, obviously. But how did you know that was going to happen?
I mean, yeah, but like, I not think about things. I'm just like, you know, pain's temporarily.
Right.
It's gonna go away eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my mindset, I guess, when taking all these bumps and things like that. I just don't even think about it. I take my mind and put it in another place, and it's like I don't even feel what's going on, but I do.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I don't know how you did that, man, because when the blade gave you that kick when you were bent forward, whew,
yeah,
I heard that through my TV fucking speakers, man. Damn.
Yeah, man.
And I felt bad watching too, because you were already, I could tell from far away, you were already a little beat up on your chest. You had yellow bruising there. I wanted to ask you about that. What the hell was that from?
Yeah, man. So Friday before that, we had Chop Day at Flatbacks, and for those who don't know, if you've seen the Chris Van Vliet video, then you've seen him get chopped by all the Flatback students and Spears and Breeze. And so they put all their students through that to prepare them for like the independence, if that makes sense, just so they get used to the feelings. So Friday before, I took like 28 chops. And
Jesus.
Then Monday night, I found out I was going to AEW. So, yeah.
Bruises and all.
Bruises and all. So I was like, yeah.
Heading out to the big leagues.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, the offense that you did get in, it did look good. And I explained, you know, to people as we were watching that weren't familiar with you, like, you know, guys that worked here in the podcast. And I explained to them, you know, they're like, why is he getting beat up all the time? Why is he taking so much? I was like, well, at the same time, he's not really, because he's also working. And I was like, he's also selling all of this, and he's making it look how it is. I was like, so he's not just getting beat up. He's doing something else. And I think a lot of the times, especially on shows like Dark, people forget that you also have a role.
Yeah, man. Like, everyone on a wrestling show has a role, no matter what it is. Not to dive too deep in here, but yeah, that's what I was going back to earlier. Like, a lot of people, I feel like they don't understand selling, or they don't. I don't know. Like it comes hard to people and stuff like that. But like, selling is like my favorite part of wrestling, if that makes sense. So I'll get beat up any day. No problem.
Yeah, no problem. Well, you heard it here, man. He'll take the fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did you? What was some of like the worst bumps you've ever taken? Like, you fallen from any great distances or anything like that?
So I mean, I've been asked this question before, and I mean, this might sound a little crazy, but like, I love bumping, man. Like, it doesn't like, I don't really like, the pain to me isn't really like, especially when I'm wrestling, like.
It's not there, yeah.
not there. Like I'm in a different place. Like I just feel like invincible, if that makes sense.
It does, man. When I was in the service, when I worked with the Marines, I heard them kind of talk about the same thing. Because I met a few folks that had like scars on their arm from grazed bullets, or like a little bullets getting hit in the shoulder. I was like, how do y'all just continue to go out there and work with that? And it's kind of the same thing where you just block out, and it's just full adrenaline at that point.
Yeah, like first day of wrestling school when I like learned how to bump. Trainer at the time, Johnny Vegas, where I like originally started, he said don't think about it. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, like that kind of played along, like, and then I just doesn't really like, I don't mind bumping, I don't mind the pain, I feel everything afterwards, but when I'm out there, I just don't feel like anything. Like that's the best way I could put it, to be completely honest. Like I'll die in a wrestling ring.
Right.
Like that's.
He loves it. He loves it. Did you ever have any any acting experiences in high school? Did you do drama or anything like that?
I did do like I didn't do like any plays or anything like that. I did do a class for like a year, and like really the only thing we did in there was like, none of like, no physical stuff like getting beat up or anything like that. We just did like voice acting pretty much,
mm-hmm.
and just playing a few character parts and stuff like that. But for like, as far as like the selling and stuff goes, like when I was 14, I built my first wrestling ring in my backyard.
Out of what?
And, all right, so yeah. So the first one was it was 12 by 12 feet, so like small as fuck, and it was built out of what's it called? It was like 2x4s for like the I don't know, the base, I guess,
mm-hmm.
and there were like wooden planks on the side, and then there was post cement on the side. I got it from a YouTube video.
Oh my god.
So, and then we contacted like a real like wrestling company, or real like wrestling ring company, Monster Rings and Cages, and they gave us like these brackets with like the 3 things to like hook the turnbuckles onto that we could put on wooden posts. But when we got those and we got the ropes and stuff, they snapped like 2 days into like getting it. They snapped because of the tension of the ropes. So then like my dad and I were like, well, we need something like stronger. So my dad knew like a local welder pretty much, and he welded on like extensions to the posts. So those went into the ground and they were fully steel, but the frame and stuff was like fully wood. And we had like real professional padding, like real wrestling ring ropes. And
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, when I was like 16, I upgraded it to a 16 by 16 foot wrestling ring. And I'll just be out there all the time, just practicing stuff. Like even if it was cold outside, I'll just go out and like chill in the wrestling ring and just like, they're just kind of meditating. Just go out there and sit out there and just think about stuff and just life and everything, man. So. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. You built the ring in your backyard. I've never heard that before. No one has ever told me that, while I've been doing this. That's crazy, man. That's true passion right there. And that's awesome, the support from your dad and help you out and stuff. I'm sure you guys had some great, bonding experiences doing that, putting that together.
Yeah, like my dad's not into wrestling by far at all.
Right.
Like wrestling was all me, like me getting into it and stuff like that. Like no one else in my family's into it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, luckily my parents, like, they'll support me in like whatever it is like I want to do. So they've always been like super supportive of me wanting to be a pro wrestler. Yeah, I don't know.
It's
my parents are awesome.
They have that
if they're
support.
watching, I love you guys.
So you mentioned you do have a twin sister. Does she do anything in the business at all?
No, she's not. Probably got scared off by me doing moves to her when we were like 10
I was going to ask,
did
you used to practice? That's funny, man.
But but she's out in Los Angeles right now.
Oh, nice.
She moved there last year, and she does like makeup and things like that. So
that's awesome. Entertainment all around in the Stewart family.
Yes.
So you're in AEW, man. You're at the Dark, and you're in the. Give us some of your thoughts, man. And you're walking around the Jacksonville Arena at Daly's Place. Did you run into people? Who were you talking to?
Oh man! So at the time, when I first. All right, so I'll just start when I first got.
Yeah, yeah.
There's so much stuff that happened that it's just like, but so when I first got there, we had to get like COVID tested and stuff like that, the morning of. So we get COVID tested, and it was like a unique COVID test because I've got like the nasal one and stuff like that, but they actually they prick your fingers with like blood, and then in 10 minutes they know if you have like the Rona or not. So
damn.
Obviously I tested negative, and then you get like a wristband, and then
Why do I have this image of just like the Dark Order in like a line doing that?
Yeah, man, pretty much.
Yeah.
When I first got there, I didn't really know who to talk to or go to, if that makes sense. I know who the talent guy was, but I couldn't find him anywhere. But when I was first getting in and going through security and stuff like that, Justin Roberts actually came in the same time I did.
Nice.
And he introduced himself to me, and he was like, "Yeah, bud, I'll show you around." So then Justin he introduced me to Christopher Daniels, and then Christopher Daniels introduced me to Cole Cabana.
Yeah, I love me some Cole. I got his T-shirt.
Cole Cabana's the man.
He is, bro. Boom, boom.
Yes, boom, boom, Cole Cabana. Then from there, the environment there was honestly the chillest locker room I've been in, because you could literally just go up and talk to anybody, no matter what level they were at.
That's awesome. It's so open to do that, man.
Yeah, I talked to everybody, man. Like Rusev or Miro, Angelico from THQ. Yeah, I think that's right. And Jericho and Hardy walked past me, and they said, "What's up, man?" And I was like,
"Oh man,
oh yeah." But also at the time, Colton Gunn was training with our class and stuff like that, and he was going to AEW every week. So I was for the most time I was there, I was really just chilling with Billy, Colton, and Austin pretty much backstage.
That's awesome, man. The
yeah,
Gun Club.
It was pretty awesome, man.
Did you get to talk to Billy about anything from back in the day, about DX or anything?
I asked him a few questions and stuff like that, but not really. He's just kind of fun to be around, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they all are, man. All of DX is like that in real life. They're cool like that. I met Road Dogg. Well, kind of met Road Dogg. It was interesting. He was walking around at Full Sail, and I kind of walked right by him, and I was wearing one of my DX shirts at the time, actually. And I walked right by him, and because my friend was picking me up, and he parked next to Road Dogg's car. And Road Dogg has some crazy ass Charger or something like that. And he told me, he's like, yeah, this fucking car, what he was telling me about it. I was like, damn, you parked next to Road Dogg. That's not dope. But we were walking out back to the car, and he passed me at the same time. And I shoulder bumped him on accident, and I turned and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir." And I realized who I was when I said it. I was like, for a second I was shocked, and then I was like, "Hey, it's okay, it's me." And he got a kick out of that, man. It was fun, but I heard that they're a lot of fun, man. DX.
Super chill to be around.
Yeah. So, man, what was it like seeing your childhood heroes just literally walking in front of you, saying hello to you? I can't imagine.
Part of me still can't believe it,
Right.
It happened so fast. Like Jack Swagger and stuff like that. He was there, and I watched him on TV since since 2010, where he had I remember when he had the dumb eagle thing or whatever come out.
I watched him when he was World Heavyweight Champion, when he was the All-American American.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was just like a crazy experience. Like I tried to talk to as many people as I could and ask questions.
Yeah, man. Always learning, being a student of everything.
Yeah, student of the game, always. So, yeah.
It's just an incredible experience, man, that you got to do that. And, you know, hopefully we get to see you be able to do more stuff like that in the future, man.
Sir.
I'm hoping so, man. Like we say, we got that star power, but people gotta know who you are, man.
Exactly.
So in talking about that, do you have to kind of, you know, build yourself as a wrestler? How do you go ahead and put yourself out there, you know, when you're in this circuit? What do you do personally?
So, like, you mean like putting myself out there? Like, how do I put myself out there?
Yeah, like get yourself recognized, your name, you know, get bookings, things like that.
Yeah, so I mean, pretty much, like, I reach out to I'm willing to wrestle anywhere pretty much. So I just reach out to as much promotions as I possibly can. And you get a lot of no's and stuff like that. But, or you get a lot of, like, you know, maybe we might use you later on the show and stuff like that. But, like, all the companies I've got opportunities around here, they've been, like, pretty loyal to me. And so right now I'm just trying to get my name out there, build a name for myself. And next time I'm on AEW, just, like, present something completely new and different and something that people want to see on TV every week, if that makes sense.
Something fresh, yeah. Something good.
Yeah.
Something different, yeah. Because that's what it needs, man. The young, the new talent, it needs that. Wrestling desperately needs that kind of stuff right now. I was looking, Buddy Murphy tweeted something. He said, oh, that was cool to watch a chamber full of old WWE champions, but how about a chamber full of people who have never been champion? And that got me thinking. I was like, well, over there on Dark, you got guys like you know, that can't even go buy a beer right now, no offense, but, you know, but you're under, you know, you're young guys, showcase talent, man. We want to see new shit. So it's awesome, you know, that you're right there, right in the mix of it, right in the heart of it. What kind of advice do you give to other people, you know, your age, trying to do this right out, basically, because did you do this right out of high school? Did you do anything else right before?
I did go to, like, college for, like, 2 weeks. Yeah. But, like, I ended up getting, like, when I was there and, like, going to classes and stuff, I was like, I just want to wrestle full time, if that makes, like, sense. And then I got sick with E. coli. Oof. And it wasn't normal E. coli. It was, like, with the sugar toxins, so that makes it, like, worse or something like that. So I was in, like, the ICU for, like, a week with this thing because it was, like, nothing but blood, pretty much.
Jeez, man.
Not gonna get into more details besides that. But then, like, earlier that year too, like, I also had my, like, appendix out, and, like, then I had, like, mono and pneumonia at the same time before that, and, like, a bunch of other, like, health stuff. So anyway, school, like, I've always hated school, and I've always struggled in school because, like, I have a language-based learning disability, dyslexia, and a couple other things. So I've always hated school, and yeah, like, I was wrestling, like, when I got out of high school, I was wrestling and training and stuff like that, like, right as I got out of high school, but I didn't start right away because I got my, like, appendix out in April, and then I graduated the next month. So I was
went right through the ringer. E. coli, appendix getting taken out.
a bunch of stuff. So yeah, pretty much, like, I was still wrestling while I was, like, in college, but then I got sick, so it kind of got put on, like, hold for a little bit, and then I left college because I was, like, my teachers told me, like, I couldn't make up any of the work, and I didn't want to anyways because I was already, like, screw this stuff. I just want to wrestle. That's pretty much what I did. And then like, late 2018, I was just, like, training and stuff, like, full stop. And then 2019 starting up, March of 2019 was when I had my first match on a show, and that was at CZW Dojo Wars in New Jersey. And then I drove down there for, like, a few weeks and pretty much wrestled nonstop until the pandemic happened, pretty much. Right. So,
just a spearheaded right for it, man. Right out of the gate. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's no different, right, than doing something like going to play professional football, playing professional basketball. It's no different what you're doing at your age,
Yeah.
you know. It's
Exactly.
you don't. I think a lot of people forget you don't have to be Undertaker's age to be the Undertaker. You know, you can do this at your age, and forgive me if I'm mistaken, but you're under about 200 pounds, right? Less than 200.
Yeah, I'm 185. So.
Yeah. How do you? That's a different. Obviously, you have to wrestle differently than a lot of different people because of your size and stuff like that. How do you adjust to that?
Well, I mean, when I'm wrestling bigger dudes and stuff like that, I tend to, attack the leg and, things like that. I mean, I'm like 185, but I'm like 6 feet tall. So I'm not like the smallest, I guess, height-wise, but
Right.
I'm not the tall. I'm kind of like right in the middle. So like some guys on the independents that I work with, like usually they're like shorter than me, but then some guys can be bigger than me, like Butcher and the Blade, like bigger than me. So I don't know, just gotta like compare like differently.
Yeah.
Right now I'm trying to just gain like more mass and stuff, like so I can compete with bigger guys, like around like the 300 mark or something like that.
Right.
But usually when I'm wrestling guys like that, I'll do like I'll like attack the leg. I'll do some high flying stuff. I'll switch it up a little bit. But yeah, that's how I prepare for wrestling people, and also pray. Praying helps a lot. So, yeah.
What is some of your favorite styles that you try and use in the ring besides the high flying stuff?
I mean, I like strong style. Mm-hmm. That's always like, I mean, everyone kind of likes strong style. I feel like these days. I do like lucha libre, but I don't really like do it a lot. So I'd say mostly like strong style, some high flying stuff, and then like some like mat wrestling too, if that makes sense.
Yeah. More traditional style.
Yeah, I was at like a show 2 weeks ago, and someone said like I'm like an old school wrestler, but I'm like new school. And I think that's like the best way to like describe how I wrestle.
Old and old, yeah, mixture of both. That's good. Man.
Yeah.
A hybrid, if you will, hybrid wrestler.
Hybrid wrestler, yes.
Yeah. If you guys give me 1 second, I had my phone earlier. I took notes because I wasn't sure who said it during your match, because there were a lot of people on commentary during the match on AEW. There was Taz was on there. That was cool. He said your name a lot, Taz. But someone said a quote for you. I'm gonna get my phone real quick. You guys just give me 1 second.
Oh, for sure. Taz, Excalibur, Ricky Starks.
It might have been Ricky Starks that said this about you when I was watching, but you were on the top rope. Obviously, you don't know these things are happening until you go back and watch them, guys.
Yeah,
but he's you're on the top rope. And I believe the Butcher was about to pull you down and slam you from. I think your back was looking towards him, and okay. I'm pretty sure it was Ricky Starks that said this. He said, "That's a man with intention, folks. I love him." And he's referring to you when he said that. And he said, "Yeah, that Calvin Stewart. That's a man with intention, folks. I love him." And it's true, man. Yeah. You're able. You catch the eyes and you have that intention. You're able to display that, and What my question is, what keeps you, the drive going other than other people your age, other people that want to do, partying and all those other things. What keeps you focused?
Well, I mean, like, to me, like, wrestling's like the greatest thing ever. Like, nothing compares to like the feeling I get from it. Like, I don't know, a lot of people turn to like drugs or alcohol to like deal with like depression and stuff like that. But like, for me, it's wrestling. Like, that's what just like helps me get like
get
by and stuff like that. And honestly, like, partying and like, I don't know, just doing that stuff, like, to me, like, I mean, not shitting on people that do it, but like, it's just kind of like lame, I guess, because like, I want to leave this like earth like with like a legacy, and I just don't want to like, I don't know, I don't want to like leave it
a tainted one, right?
Ditch or something like that, because like I was just partying all the time and like didn't have any like goals or anything like that. So I mean, I don't know. And also, I guess like my drive to like, cause like I don't know, this might sound cocky and stuff, but I do want to be like the best like one day.
Yeah.
You're like one of the best one day. So I guess that's what drives me also every single day, to get better and to make progress and to succeed and like doing what I love pretty much. So
just never giving up. Just always with that drive. Yeah.
Like if you have a dream, if like anyone watching this, like if you have a dream, like go out there and chase it, because you only get one life, and you should live it the right way. Because when you're like 70 or whatever and looking back, like I don't know, I don't want to look back and said like I could have done this or I could have done that. I wanna look back and say I did do this and I did do that, and I'm just happy with like what I did in life, if that makes sense. So
and you'll have like, you know, a memorabilia case behind you of the AEW World Championship. Yeah. Tell your grandkids, exactly. I remember when this one I pinned. Yeah. Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So you have any other hobbies outside of wrestling at all?
I mean, recently I just started picking up boxing.
Okay.
Also, that like just kind of pertains to wrestling, just to get me in the best shape as possible, because
it's a lot of cardio, a lot of footwork, a lot of movement.
Yeah, a lot of that too. I realized when I started doing it, like it is like a lot more, you know, footwork than I like realized, if that makes sense. It doesn't sound down, but it's a lot of footwork and remembering stuff, and it's good cardio too. So I mean, for my workouts, I do that along with weight training and other hobbies and stuff. Like, man, if we weren't in a pandemic right now, I'll probably be at a Travis Scott concert, because
right.
That's like
you like going to shows?
Yeah, I like going to any kind of show, but I like Travis Scott because like his just energy with like the crowd and the energy he brings as a like performer on stage, just awesome, man. So yeah, I'm really not too interested. I really just wrestle a lot.
Just wrestle, man. Eat, sleep, wrestle.
Yeah, eat, sleep, breathe it, bro. So
that's
yeah.
Right. That's right. Now, do you have any kind of like merchandise or anything like that stuff like coming up for you?
I do have some merch coming out. Like it should be out halfway through next month. Pretty sure maybe even before that. So that'll all be announced on my like social media and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess also one of my other hobbies is like video games and stuff like that. Like I got the Nintendo Switch, I got an Xbox One, I got a PS4, I have a 360, I have like a few other like older gaming consoles as well. I don't really play them as much as I used to, but like going back and playing like SmackDown versus Raw, like that's just like the best.
Yeah,
because
like nothing beats them.
Yeah, nothing beats them. 2K does not beat them at all.
No,
so.
It does not.
Yeah.
Not even the same fucking ballpark.
No way, man. they outside asking for tickets. Yeah. That's what 2K's at.
Now, you mentioned that you don't mind you wrestle anywhere. What besides Florida and where other places have you wrestled?
So a few weeks ago I went up to Tennessee, and this weekend I'm going to Indiana.
Awesome.
So just kind of expanding out. Might be going to North Carolina soon to do some work up there, and really just I don't know, just taking it like step by step with what bookings I get and where at. But I want to wrestle everywhere. Maybe like Puerto Rico. That might be coming up soon.
What's your dream arena to be in?
I mean, dream arena to wrestle in is like the TD Garden in Boston.
Hell yes.
Yeah, that's where I went to my first WWE event, or my first wrestling event ever, was the 2011 Royal Rumble, and yeah, it's just a dream to wrestle there, man. Like that's just like the home arena.
The Garden's dope, man. And for those of y'all that don't know the Garden, it's really interesting. No matter where you're sitting, it's kind of like that dipped in view, that looked in. It's really cool. You kind of looking down through it, and it adds to the experience. It's really cool.
Yeah, there's not a bad seat in like the house. I think that might pertain to, like, my dad would talk about it, how, like, the old Boston Garden, there'd be, like, it was built like a, like, gymnasium pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So there would be, like, these seats were, like, there'd be, like, beams in front of you or something like that. So, like, you couldn't see, like, you could only see, like, maybe, like, half the court or something if you were watching, like, a basketball game or something like that.
That's
so
shitty.
I think with the new arena, they tried to, like, design it so, like everyone could just, like, I don't know, it's like a bowl. Like,
it is. It's really cool.
You can sit anywhere. It's still a good time. So
yeah, I got to see the Bruins play Buffalo a couple years ago. Not a seat in the house was empty. Man, it was awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah! Like always the crowd's there, whether it's for like wrestling or the Celtics or Bruins games. Like it's always a good turnout, no matter what. So
Boston fans are rowdy.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
So we asked about your arena. What superstars would you want to work with on either side, either brand?
Ooh. I mean Edge, obviously.
Hell yeah.
That's like the first like wrestler I got like super into and stuff. It's like his entrance and stuff, like the pyro and everything. And then like when he would hit the spear, like with his hair like going back and stuff like that, and fucking eyes and stuff. That had me like hooked as a kid. So I'd say Edge, Dolph Ziggler. I do want to wrestle Tyler Breeze because like
yeah,
I mean,
come on.
And I mean also Shawn Spears because like I mean, not suck it up, but like
right.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio, Christian. I mean, at AEW, I want to wrestle Neville.
That'd be crazy. That'd be interesting.
That would be like, I love Neville since like, or Pac, whatever you want to call him.
Right.
But yeah, like he does a lot of like high flying stuff. I don't do like as many like high flying. Like I'm not as athletic as him because there's not a lot of people that can like do the stuff he does. But I think it would still be an interesting match. Who else? I mean,
I can see you doing something with Orange Cassidy. That'd be interesting.
Orange Cassidy, yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just like super aggressive, and he's just like chilling.
Yeah.
There. Like,
You'd be a good heel. You'd be a good heel for Cassidy.
Yes, I would be.
Yeah. Now just think about that. That's a good idea. Cody, make that happen. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, man, we've talked about an hour or so. The floor is yours now for anything you'd like to shout out and plug for yourself. You may do so. That's what we do, man, around here. We want to give you guys the opportunity to tell your story. So the floor is yours, my friend.
Sure. So, I mean, anyone watching this, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at the CM Stew. I recently just made a YouTube channel, and that is MacLeod Stewart. If you type that in on YouTube, it should be the first thing that pops up. And I have some merchandise coming soon. I have some very like interesting and kind of funny T-shirt designs coming out that I think people that support me, they'll be into it. And I mean, if anyone out there is like watching this and like wants to get into professional wrestling, I mean, I would say Flatbacks is the place to do it. They by far helped me like then into who I am today and are continuing to do that day by day and week by week. So yeah, whether that means like moving to do it or something like that, or just going there for like a little bit. I mean, I guess that's like just advice too for just chasing your dream as well. Like if you want something, like just go out there and do it.
Once you do it, you do it. Step on that airplane, man, dude. Drive it over to there. You gotta. Once you do it, it happens.
Yes.
There's so many times, you look back and you're like, oh, if I could have done that, or maybe if I did that differently. But it's awesome to see that you're not really having those thoughts right now, because you're chasing your dream.
I mean, I do think that about some things, but then like everyone tells me I'm like young and stuff all the time and stuff like that. But I mean, that's not gonna last for too long. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to just live life to the fullest while I'm here. So
enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've had a great time sitting down with Cameron. Make sure you guys check him out. Do everything you can. Share this video. Let everyone know that he is the new upcoming man. Check him out on AEW at Dark with Puff. You won't be disappointed. It's great.
Oh.
No.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if you're rooting for me, you might be disappointed. You've never seen it before, but.
All right, guys. My name is AJ East Coast, and I have been your host, and we've had Cameron MacLeod Stewart, and we'll see you guys, I believe, tomorrow night, Tuesday night. We'll be back tomorrow night, Tuesday night on Instagram. Have a good one, y'all.